Often I dream about painting on my miniatures. Then I wake up and go do some painting. I paint all sorts of miniatures. Big ones, small ones, cool ladies, Warhammer dioramas, tiny astronauts, miniatures for gaming, kings and scale models, more dioramas, and more and more and more. I love my job, and I love to show others that there is nothing they have to fear when enjoying this hobby and passion. Fear is the enemy. Hey, my name is Roman Lappat, a professional full-time miniature artist for 2 decades. Let me tell you a bit about myself. Miniature painting is part of my life, as I decided to find my path in life in it. My passion is my daily job as a self-employed miniature artist since over 20 years now. This passion offers so many canvases that you can paint and tell stories with. It's my way of life.
One of the things that I think Roman brings to the miniature hobby world that is so unique is him. He is unabashedly himself. He knows himself.
I am a professional in the miniature painting industry, painting, teaching, exploring, inspiring, challenging, and learning from my environment for a long time now. I might have influenced you on your path too. As one of the most experienced hands-on teachers in miniature painting, I can say teaching my craft and shortcuts to others is a privilege that I'm grateful for. To all my students, thank you for the high demand on my workshops. In miniature painting, we all start with guidance. We have guidance in tutorials and rules, and if you don't take care of that, this is a healthy way of learning to a point. If you don't take care that after this there's also freedom in painting, so that a lot of people stick with their recipes. They fear that they're doing something wrong when they step out of this line. What I teach in my workshops is that people should learn to understand that situation they're in, and that there might be fear stepping out of that. There might be mistakes stepping out of that. There might be danger stepping out of that in terms of I might mess up something. Trying new techniques, new tools, experimenting, you will definitely 100% fail in some parts. But you will learn something that is way beyond a recipe. You will learn your own experience. You will find solutions for problems on your own, not based on the experience by someone else. Like, don't let the fear stop you from getting that reward. Fear is very often stopping us from exploring, from going beyond what is possible. And in the meantime, the miniature painting world is exploring a lot of things that are possible, but still there are things hidden. And I think as soon as you start doing this without fear for yourself on your own workbench at home, you will find way more joy if you allow yourself to create, explore, and don't fear.
He's not afraid. He's not afraid to let a brushstroke exist. You know, he's not afraid of being perfectly smooth. Can he execute that? I'm sure that he can, but he does it in his own way that is so uniquely and confidently him.
I studied to become a teacher for regular school in the field of art and art history, but only finished my main exams, never went that route, and was starting teaching miniature painting in 2009 with hands-on workshops and a blog called Massive Voodoo that offered over 450 free tutorials. This blog used to be a library for miniature painters before YouTube, Instagram and Patreon, and many successful painters nowadays date back to this blog's influence. Besides that, I do teach my happy painting philosophy worldwide, which I will explain to you in a moment. Over the years, I won my share in international miniature painting competitions, and in the meantime do not participate anymore. Not because I think I'm too good. Here are some reasons why I don't. I learned that I'm not a person who has a competitive nature. I understood that it is hard to compete in art. I step out of the game of winning medals to make space for the younger generations. There are more reasons, but these are just some. Yeah, I mean, the funny aspect is like I studied art and art history for teaching it in school, and I studied this on university and these things, and I had the feeling that everybody who was like forcing art on me, it felt wrong. It felt like, you go in this museum, this over here is a very famous artist and it has to speak to you. No, it doesn't have to speak to me. So what I found out for myself is like, art is speaking to everyone individually. You can go to an art museum and you can say, oh, I don't get a connection to this, but I get a connection to this, while your friend that is with you doesn't have a connection to this, but to this. Happy painting for me means I can bring my inner self to my table and, of course, into my creations. There is the craft, where you learn the technical aspects, and there is working with my emotions. Both go hand in hand for me. My main goal in my work is to tell stories, to make the viewer feel something when they look at my art. I have no control if this works in the end or not, so I learn to let go of expectations and focus on the creation. This is where I find most of my joy.
He makes it fun. He makes it about the fun. He makes it about the joy. You know, creating things should bring us happiness. And sometimes creating things can come from a sad place. It can come from a place of trauma or pain, but it can be a therapy. You know, finding joy in the therapy that is healing and recovery. That is art in a nutshell. And I think Roman, unique among the artists in this miniature hobby, knows how to embrace the joy in it. And that's something that I really, really appreciate in him.
For me, it's also a way of healing myself. When I sit down and I create something, I give birth to something into this world, I heal. The time is well spent. My fantasy, my imagination is able to drift off and then do things that I will not find during daily life. And as soon as I can connect this to characters and storytelling, I'm able to transport what I feel also to my audience. This is like feedback that it's worth more than money. With bringing this to the outside world, to other people, to an audience, I also have the feeling that they get inspired from it and might find that healing path on their own. Happy painting for me also means, while being honest with myself while I work, I can find my natural artist's voice when I sit at my workbench. If I'm happy, you see it in my work. If I'm sad, you will feel it in my work. If I need to reflect on something, you see it in my work. If I'm energized, you see it in my brushstrokes. Teaching happy painting to others, may it be beginners, advanced painters or professionals alike, means I'm teaching with all my heart, honesty and direct feedback. What I learned from that is that the hardest part for so many miniature painters is conquering their fearing of doing something wrong, fearing of destroying a miniature, fearing to leave control behind while experimenting, fearing of the unknown. Yet, painting is endless exploration and nothing is perfect. Absolutely nothing. Happy painting, for me, means accepting that. I judged some of the world's greatest miniature painting competitions like Golden Demon, Scale Model Challenge, Capital Palette, Monte San Savino Show, World Model Expo and many more, and I can say I've never seen any miniature project that was perfect. I've seen great ones, but nothing matches the perspective of the many different viewers, and nothing can get the stamp perfect, because there are so many different views and perspectives. No miniature can truly match all these criteria. Happy painting means accepting that.
The miniature that will forever be my favorite miniature ever painted that I've ever seen will be his Brooklyn miniature. That can exist in any art gallery on the planet. And I think that is when you realize somebody is a master.
Happy painting also means to accept your very own journey without comparing it to someone else. Means you do not start working out in the gym and envy the 50-year-old guy who is doing it since he's 17, right? He's on his journey as you are on yours. It is the same with painting miniatures. We all have different starting points, different goals, and different intentions.
He breaks down the walls and he makes this hobby approachable. He makes it fun. He makes it enjoyable. For all of those new people that are coming to the hobby, or even the veterans that just need a reminder that this is supposed to be fun, that we're not required. In fact, we spend a lot of stinking money on this stuff. So it should be fun. So continue to find your fun and purpose in it. And I think that to me is a fearless approach. And when you apply that to miniature painting, I think that's when you get Roman Lappat and the body of work that he has shared with us over the years.
Happy painting for me means honesty, freedom, enjoying myself, and exploration. I'm not striving to win, compete, or to be the best. I see no reason to compete in art and expression. All of that is too unique to be compared. In the miniature painting world, this is a rare statement, I know. But I believe and teach it 100%.